Welcome to Med 5. The goal of our channel is to simplify medical concepts and help you understand them with zero friction. Today, we're comparing DNA and RNA viruses. Before we begin, take a stab at the following. Which type of viruses usually cause acute infections? Which type mostly replicates in the nucleus? What enzyme do RNA viruses need to replicate their genome? Let's find out. Viruses are basically genetic material wrapped in a protein coat, and that genetic material, whether DNA or RNA, changes everything about how they behave. Let's start with the basics. DNA viruses carry deoxyribonucleic acid, while RNA viruses carry ribonucleic acid. Most DNA viruses are double-stranded, while most RNA viruses are single-stranded. But some RNA viruses go further. They can be positive sense, meaning their RNA acts like mRNA and can be directly translated into proteins. Or negative sense, which means they need to copy their RNA first into a usable form before translation. Now, let's talk location. DNA viruses usually replicate in the nucleus because that's where our cells keep the tools for DNA processing. Most DNA viruses depend on the host's enzymes to replicate. On the other hand, RNA viruses usually replicate in the cytoplasm because they don't need access to the nucleus. They use viral-coded enzymes instead of the host's machinery to copy their genome. Of course, there are exceptions. One DNA virus, which we'll name in future episodes, replicates in the cytoplasm instead of the nucleus, and one RNA virus takes the opposite route and heads for the nucleus. But generally, DNA viruses replicate in the nucleus, while RNA viruses replicate in the cytoplasm. What about replication machinery? DNA viruses, especially the smaller ones, often use our cell's DNA polymerase. Larger DNA viruses may carry their own DNA polymerase, but RNA viruses can't rely on host enzymes because our cells don't naturally copy RNA from RNA. So they bring their own RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, an enzyme that can read and copy RNA. How does mutation impact viruses? RNA viruses mutate more rapidly than DNA viruses. Why? Because RNA-dependent RNA polymerase doesn't proofread. That means errors sneak in during replication, making RNA viruses less stable but also harder to predict. RNA viruses can change quickly and cause repeated or seasonal outbreaks. But there's one RNA virus family that does have a proofreading enzyme, making it more genetically stable than the rest. We'll reveal this group in future episodes, so stay tuned to Med 5. In contrast, DNA viruses are more stable. Their replication involves some proofreading, so they tend to mutate less. This ability lets them stick around long term. Some even become latent, hiding out in your body for years. How does all of this genomic instability affect the infections that viruses cause? RNA viruses are often behind acute, short-lived infections. They hit fast, mutate quickly, and sometimes escape immunity. By comparison, DNA viruses are more likely to cause chronic or latent infections. They can persist in your cells and re-emerge later. Want an easy way to remember the difference? Think of DNA as disciplined and durable. It follows the rules, replicates in the nucleus, and stays stable. RNA is reckless and rapid. It skips the nucleus, mutates fast, and causes chaos. Let's review. Which type of viruses usually cause acute infections? Answer: RNA viruses. Which type mostly replicates in the nucleus? Answer: DNA viruses. What enzyme do RNA viruses need to replicate their genome? RNA-dependent RNA polymerase. Handled them all. Boss move. If this clip helped you, hit like, share, and subscribe. Download the table from the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to Med 5 for more compact, high-yield medical videos.